Good morning, everyone. Let us continue with the promotion process of a company. In our previous slides, in our previous lectures, we have gone through the two steps of a promotion of a company. The first one was identifying the idea of business opportunity, that what kind of business one can start, and the other one was feasibility studies. That means that idea may be technical, it may be financially viable, but it may not be economically viable. That means that company may not be able to earn sufficient profits. So after going through with the feasibility studies, let us think over the name of a company. That what will be the name of a company, means under which name a company will do the business, and this name is to be registered with the registrar of a company. That's why the company first of all have to set a name of a company, and remember that this name should not be misleading. It should not be like that earlier the company with same name is existing, and the new company is formed with the same name. The registrar will not register that companies. As well as there are certain other restrictions, that name private company should use the name private limited, and in the way that the public company will use only the word limited, and the name should not be based on the way that it seems that it leads to the nation of it leads to a nation. There are the certain restrictions that leads to nations, means that it should not be like that. It should not feel like that the company is being held by a particular party or particular government, kuch like that. And it two sets of name or three sets of name will be prepared for the company. If one is not acceptable, then other, and if other one is not acceptable, then another one will be, the company will be registered with the another one name. So that's why that company will be registered by while registering the company, the promoters have to set for the three names. Now, fixing up the signatories of memorandum of association. The company is a legal association. Legal association means company has to file several documents. Among the several documents, the first document is memorandum of, or the one of the document is memorandum of association. Now, this memorandum of association will be incomplete until and unless the required member or the legal members will not sign it. These legal members are called by the signatories, or I am calling these legal members as the signatories. Signatories means those they will sign the memorandum of association. If you check any data which is authenticated, that will definitely be signed by the authorized authority. In this way, that memorandum of association will be signed by the board of directors, or the first director, the first directors. That means those they are signing to the memorandum of association, they are known as the first directors of the company. And that means, for who are the first directors? Who agreed to take up the qualification shares, means जो कंपनी में एक पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट एज ए कैपिटल कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए रेडी हो चुके हैं, दे विल बी नोन एज द फर्स्ट डायरेक्टर्स, और वो कंपनी की प्रमोशन के प्रोसेस में इन्वॉल्व हैं. सो these persons are to be, or such kind of persons are to be find out. Generally, when there is a private company, the minimum two persons are there. The two persons, they will become the first directors of the company, because they act as the directors, and they will automatically take up the qualification shares. Qualification shares means that the initial number of shares which are required to sign the memorandum of association. So the next one is appointment of professionals. Appointment of professionals, as its name is saying, that professional means that bankers, auditors who are expert in their jobs. Now a company is there, that means it will operate on a large scale. Definitely the bankers will be required, means under which bank the all of the dealing will be done by the company, as well as auditors who will be auditors, that means who will check the accounts of a company. uh, a company has to appoint all these persons, and those persons also who will help them in preparing the necessary documents, and which will be registered with the registrar of companies. The name and addresses of shareholders and the number of shares allotted to each will be submitted to the registrar in the statement called return of allotment. Now that the promoter takes up the certain steps which have to be for submitting the documents to the registrar of companies, and the documents are memorandum of association. Memorandum of association, it is the most important document for a company. Means whenever we will think about a company, memorandum of association automatically comes to our mind. If that means if there is a company, definitely there will be a memorandum of association. That is the existence of a that memorandum of association proves the existence of a company, and this is a document in which all the legal activities means whatever activity will be performed by the company, it is being mentioned in the memorandum of association under the different clauses. The first is name clause. That name clause, we have earlier fixed the name of a company, we have set up the three names, we have decided the three sets of names, and whatever is being final, that the name will be mentioned in the memorandum of association. And second one is registered office clause. Registered office clause means in which state, remember, in which state, not district, not town, in which state the company's head office will be. This clause will state that in which state the company's head office will be. Now, for the time being, the company is not formed, but the company will notify to the registrar that in this particular state that the company's registered office will be, and it is to be notified by the promoters within the 30 days of the incorporation of a company. Incorporation, next stage we will study. That means in the registration of a, while incorporation means registration of a company. Still what we are doing, we are in the process of promotion. अभी तो हम कंपनी को रजिस्टर कराने के लिए जो वेरियस फॉर्मेलिटीज हैं उनको कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं. So the next clause is object clause. Object clause will state for what purposes the company is being formed. What is the main object to form a company? And the company cannot work beyond this object. That means that the main object of the company will be written in the memorandum of association. And for the achievement of this object, a sub clause will also be prepared, and this will also be mentioned for the achievement of objectives in the memorandum of association. Now the next clause is liability clause. As we know, company is that association of persons, a group of persons whose members have a limited liability. Limited liability means limited to the extent of capital contributed by them. Here we can prove it with the help of example. Means a person has purchased 1000 shares of rupee 10 each. That means he has promised to pay 10,000 in the form of a capital to the company. Means suppose you are there, you have promised the XYZ company that you will contribute 10,000 in the form of shares, but you have just paid rupees 6 per share. That means you have paid 6,000 rupees. In now, how much amount is left? Only 4,000. In no case company can demand more than 4,000 to you. इवन इन द वर्स्ट केसेस, मीन्स कंपनी को बहुत से लॉसेस हो गए, कंपनी को बहुत सा पैसे देने हैं, स्टिल द कंपनी कैन कॉल not more than, company cannot call more than 4,000 from you. The next one is capital clause. This capital clause will state the authorized capital. Authorized capital means the maximum capital which a company can collect from the shareholders. And this memorandum of association, while stating the authorized capital, will specify the number of shares as well as face value of each share. Authorized capital cannot be changed. If it is to be changed, then a special permission is required. Usually a company cannot change its authorized capital. And after preparing all these clauses, name clause, registered office clause, liability clause, object clause, and capital clause, now the memorandum of association is completed. This memorandum of association must be signed by at least 7 persons in case of a public company and 2 persons in case of a private company. So we will do next in our next later lectures. Thank you.